As we learnt last night, Nadine Dorries sees herself as a sort of Steph McGovern figure, a genuine reporter, a genuine reporter who can hardly manage the auto cue and barely string a sentence together. Anyway, that's one new identity she can assume. Another one is the person who's going to write the definitive biography of Boris Johnson. A third one is to be the old guard and the advisor. And in that capacity, she's now giving advice to Dominic Raab. It's very precise advice, and I suspect it's advice which has been planted so that Raab can now take that advice and duck out of sight and effectively save Rishi Sunak's skin. Because the longer Raab stays, the more damage he does to the Prime Minister, and indeed to anybody associated with the Prime Minister like Simon Case. I suspect Simon Case will also have to go. There is no doubt. These two need to go. They need to go as badly as a 5-year-old child who has a sudden anxiety in the middle of a Latin class. Do 5-year-old children do Latin class? Well, if they don't, they should. So she says that faced with an avalanche of allegations, if I were Dominic, I would want to stand down and dedicate my time to clearing my name and refuting those allegations. So I think that will be the language in the letter of resignation that we shall probably see within the next 24 hours. I think Dominic, she says, is probably going to get to that position pretty soon. Yes, it's all been arranged. It's all been exactly scripted. And Nadine Dorries, rather than giving advice, is following somebody else's orders. I'd be very interested to know who's planning this particular operation. And she also points out that in her dealings with Dominic Raab, he has behaved perfectly, professionally throughout. That's in contrast to the extraordinary story about Dominic Raab after a Today interview being overheard telling an assistant to get his effing car. I don't suppose that's the sort of language that is used by somebody who isn't a bully or isn't facing allegations of being a bully. Yes, that's better. Because Dominic Raab, of course, is not proven to be a bully, but he is certainly facing allegations of bullying, and those allegations seem perfectly reasonable when he's overheard telling an assistant to get my effing car. He didn't say effing, of course. I did, because I don't really like 17th century profanity. 17th century? No, the first instance of that word, beginning with F, I think is to be found in about 1528 on a manuscript. But it wasn't in print until about the 17th century. So for people to coyly refer to this as Anglo-Saxon is to get it wrong. But there we are. There's so much wrong going on. A little bit of linguistic folly isn't going to get in the way, is it?